Yes, all of you lovely Spurs fans, happy Sunday. And here's going to be your Twitter reacts as we just bask in what was a great start for the Thomas Frank era, a 3-0 win at home against Burnley. Now, I will say there were some sketchy moments, and it felt like Spurs were almost doing their best to try to let Burnley back into the game, but we were able to finish the job off in the second half. And it's always nice to sort of digest and go back through it through a little bit of a Twitter reacts and see how the rest of the Spurs universe response to it. Please smash the like button for us, everybody. And also do follow us over on Twitter because we're posting some of our goal reaction highlights, especially this one from Richarlison. Of course, the brilliant overhead kick seemed to get a lot of love from you guys over on that platform. So please follow us over there at the IrishYid, the Irish Hotspur. You won't be able to miss it. And we're going to start things off first with some ITKs that have come out saying the Spurs Express, Richarlison has rejected several approaches to leave Spurs this summer. Now, Dave, you and I are big Richarlison fanboys, but at the same time, we were kind of showing some concern about how poor he looked during preseason. I think he's all of a sudden, showing that maybe he just needed every little bit of minutes of that preseason because too well taken goals and Richarlison in flying form.
No, look, he looks hungry, Jack. You know, one thing we've always sort of praised with Richarlison, he always comes onto the pitch with the right attitude. Where people get frustrated with him is that end product, maybe that lack of
Yeah.
consistent quality. You know, I was reading something from last one on Spurs yesterday. You know, from where, and apparently these words came out of Sonny's mouth, where he said, "Look, Richarlison is playing injury free now. You know, pain free, and that he's really hungry to sort of succeed at Tottenham." So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. But I think them two goals yesterday probably keeps him in the Tottenham jersey for another year. And look, you know, fair play to him. He seems determined, turning down two moves away, you know, to prove a point at Tottenham Hotspur, even though he's got competition from Solanke. I'm all here for it. Fair play to him. Many others would probably walk away in this situation.
You can make the case that he's pretty loyal to the clubs that he's played for as well. With
Yeah.
Everton, with Spurs, he's not a guy that wants to just give up on whatever project or whatever time that he's had at a club. He wants to try to make things right, it seems like. So, like Dave said, we like his attitude. We like what he brings. We like what he stands for. Just sometimes, yeah, he can be a little bit frustrating of a player, but it certainly wasn't against Burnley. Mango saying Romero makes one foul, and the commentators bring up red cards from 2 years ago. It's just how reputations go and agendas go, isn't it, Mango? Daily Hotspur saying Richie really is something else. This is what he posted on his own Instagram last night. That is not AI. That is not fake or anything. It really is. I do follow the guy on Instagram. He definitely loves to get a little bit ahead of himself. Cody Mack saying Richie's got more service in 15 minutes than any striker got the whole of last season.
Yeah, it's so true. And look, it's amazing what a bit of service can do. You know, the fact that it was just good to see our strikers in the box, receiving the ball in there and being able to get a cut. Even when Solanke came on, being able to get opportunities away, rather than all be playing 20 yards outside the box and all that sort of jazz. So it's good to see.
Kevin Danzo at the party saying they don't know that I can throw it really far, Burnley in the Premier League. I wish we got to see Danzo coming on. I know Dave was an early lover of what Kevin Danzo brings, and I definitely am starting to become a big Kevin Danzo enthusiast as well. Would have been nice to see him come on. Super Spurs saying, I'm just going to listen to your heart, okay, Kudus, so you will find Spurs in there. The guy's become proper coys more and more, especially with the way that he plays. Jamie O'Hara saying, Spurs are back.
He's so shameless, so shameless.
I think H saying Sarr is a second ball magnet, hovered it up there for the first goal as well. I think he's talking about how Richarlison brought it down, but then Sarr is just right there to pick it up off of him and find that pass in behind for Brendan Johnson. But maybe actually a good way to think about it, that Sarr, just the way that he can recover possession for a team, is also maybe an underrated facet of his game.
Well, we call him Sar Kante. You know, he's just everywhere.
Better than Saka from Cali J.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Miles better than Saka. Did you see the West Ham fans with their shitty little flag yesterday? They changed the K to a J in his name, basically calling him Judas, and then he goes out and puts on a display like that while they get slapped up 3-0 by Sunderland.
Couldn't have been a better weekend for Spurs, especially with Chelsea dropping points now just recently. Kudos and Richarlison today.
Oh, what was I? We are Tottenham TV are calling it Prudus at the minute.
Oh my
Richarlison
gosh.
and Kudus. Prudus.
I don't mind that. Trevor Lloyd saying you can hate on Brennan Johnson all you want. He can do more in games. But like I said earlier, he does the hardest thing in football, score again and again and again. My guy. Now, what's funny is that it really was a Brennan Johnson performance,
Yeah.
Dave, in that he literally did almost nothing, until he scored and then did nothing after that. But that's kind of Brennan Johnson, and it really is something else, to be honest, because I don't know how to wrap my head around it.
No, look, I think, we've always argued, there's probably a use for him in the squad in terms of more of an impact player off the bench. But, I think what Brennan Johnson fangirls really need to understand, Jack, is that, he's already, like, they said, oh, no, he scores goals. What else do you want him to do? Well, he's already been moved out from the right-hand side because he can't produce what Kudus does, which means he's having to adapt to the left-hand side. But not only that, if we bring in Eze and double down and bring someone else in as well before the window closes, he's going to find himself on the bench very, very quickly. He's not a striker. He can't just rely on tapping the ball home. At the end of the day, I'm not being funny. I would have scored that goal. It was a tidy finish, but I would have scored that goal.
You
Papa
expect
Matasar
him
and
to score that.
Richarlison done all the work. It was just him finishing off other people's work. But at the end of the day, I ask people, what did he really do for the rest of the time he was on the pitch? Not an awful lot for a winger.
I mean, anybody makes that. You have to make that run that he did. I mean, it's anyone
Mm,
who plays football would have made that run. And then the finish is a very well taken finish, which is what Brennan Johnson does. But if he misses that, then I think really people would have been after him because he had been doing nothing up until that point. And then if
mm,
he were then to miss an opportunity to go 3-0 up, one like that, a one-on-one practically with the keeper, yeah, just sort of again. Johnson fanboys, though, I do love them because they are very good at protecting their man. If you are a lady out there, look for a Brennan Johnson fan because they will protect you to the hilt at all
mm.
costs. Adding Eze and Savino to
Oh,
this.
yeah, yeah, Breaking Bad, brilliant.
Family FC from Leslie, just the vibes and just everybody loving each other. Richarlison and
Oh,
Kudos
yeah,
went straight to each other. Romero, the Capitano, showing some love as well. He seems to be liking
Prince,
what Kudos is doing. It's just good vibes there.
brilliant, brilliant.
LP saying couldn't find the TV remote, so I asked my mate where it was. He said Tottenham. I was confused, and I realized he meant it's on just on the top of the table.
Quality.
Mr. Black, Muhammad Kudus is on course to get 76 Premier League assists this season, breaking the record of 20. Thank you, West Ham. Michael Hamilton, the best thing about watching Richarlison's second goal in the stadium was when the goal was shown again on the big screen. The whole stadium, even the Burnley fans, all said, ooh, at the same time. Love
He's an
to see
absolute
that.
screamer.
Tottenham win and Eze, here we go on the same day. Got to watch this space though because he did play against
Yeah.
Chelsea, but it seems like even the match commentators were talking about the deal basically happening.
Well,
So it feels like we're steps away, but can't go too soon after a Morgan Gibbs White situation.
it's a bit of a weird one, Jack, because all the reports all weekend was he's going to be left out. He travelled, he played, and but the only thing I would say, I think he was taken off on 84 minutes,
Yeah.
and for a round of applause from the Palace fans. And I wonder, was that just the sort of last goodbye?
Yeah, he seems like that sort of player maybe that would want to just play one last time, especially away from home at Chelsea. It's a great game to do it. And I think the other situation is Crystal Palace maybe are waiting to get their own business done with the money that will be
Mm,
coming in for Guehi as well as for Eberechi Eze. So I mean, and doing it so late in the window, I don't blame Palace for operating that way. I really don't. I think
mm,
that's kind of how it tends to happen is that if you buy one of their best players really late in the window, they're going to be like, well, hold on a minute. We need to get our own
mm,
replacement. And then if you're just going to steal our best player, right before the window shuts, it's actually pretty sensible, I think, from Crystal
mm.
Palace, to be
Oh
honest,
no, look, they can charge what they want at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the later they leave it, the
or
more
delay it,
expensive
Yeah.
yeah, the more expensive their targets are going to be to be able to bring in. And at the end of the day, they're just going to put that on Tottenham to pay that. But I think with Palace chasing, Palace still in the game, near law, taking off Eze on 84 minutes. I can't help but think Glasner is looking at someone else in that Palace team to step up and be matched with or without Eze, and that he was
Yeah.
taking him off, because he's getting a move to Tottenham at the start of this week. Be interesting to see.
There's debuts and not even ITK, but just logic there. I think to think about how the Eze
Mm,
deal could get over the line. Spurs web love the Matters tribute by Poro and Brennan Johnson. Very classy touch from the two of them. S and E, who remembers from Richarlison's best moments in Brazil shirt. I think
mm.
it was not as good as the Brazil goal, but definitely very
There
up
we go.
there. Trevor Lloyd, West Ham did a snake banner for Kudus for him to ball out for Spurs whilst they get battered to Sunderland. Yep, there he is, the snake, but he's
Did you
ours now, playing
did you
brilliantly.
Did you happen to get the clip of the two West Ham fans, speaking about how they pulled Tottenham's pants down when they sold them to us for the money they've got? I think someone clipped it up the other day, and you go and look at that performance against Burnley, the performance against PSG, and in general what we've seen preseason. We're having the last laugh here. It's brilliant.
Definitely. It was never in doubt. This is Pape's season from
Yeah.
Braun there. Now, I think Dave and I have been on the Pop train very, very early, if not in the first class, in the business class of Pop Montasar train. Expressions, choo choo, blood, the Thomas the Frank engine is underway.
Let's go.
We've signed a monster from Zeus.
Yeah.
Michael saying he's the best player in the world, bro. I think he's talking about Richarlison after on July 21st or July 31st, saying Richarlison is hilarious. I wish he was good at football. Now he retweets his own tweet. He's the best player in the world. Richarlison will score
I've
for
seen
Spurs
this.
today and begin a 10-game goal scoring streak. It is the prophecy from Jackson there. And
Is
then
that the
also,
guy that done the Brendan Johnson one last year and he went on like
no,
7 games? No, all
I
right.
think it's a different person. Maybe
Okay.
this is maybe they perhaps, but no, I
I was
think the
gonna
quote
say if it
tweet.
is, I'm running to the bookies.
Yeah, seriously. JCR, Black Kit, Champions League nights, Savino on the wing, Kudus on the wing, and Eze in the 10. Stuff
That's
dreams
gonna
are
be
made
me
of.
and you. That's gonna be me and you. We've been giving out about the quality of the front line for ages. That'd be me and you on Champions League nights. Hold me up, I'm weak.
I think this is going to be you, Dave, getting Eze and Kudus for less than Florian Wirtz, just riding down the streets, gangster style. Tottenham close to agreeing 55 million plus add-ons for Ebericha Eze. Minor details being discussed. Jamie O'Hara as well, Dave, tweeting
Prue, Prue.
the pigeon out. Only need one more clean sheet at home to match Ange in 2024, 25. I will say, like, the awkwardness of Thomas Frank, it makes sometimes these memes like really funny.
Yeah,
Like with
yeah.
these zoom ins. The aura is definitely questionable sometimes. Muhammad Kudus having a 1v1 is what I crave for as a winger. I'm happy about the beginning, but it's a long marathon to go. I mean, it's just nice to know that we signed a winger that actually likes to take on his man.
No, it is, and I think on other parts of the interview, he expressed, that he's here to entertain. That's what a winger's job is to go out there, man. And I just wonder, could Brennan Johnson maybe, go and spend a bit of time with Kudos?
Well, I think Brandon Johnson just likes to sort of tap away the creativity from others, not really create his own. Stat Muse, Mohamed Kudus has 2 assists in a Premier League match for the first time in his career on his Prem debut with Tottenham. And then AJ saying, have a good evening, my fellow Yiddos. Richarlison, whatever it is, a World Cup year. This
Oh, the old
angle from
man.
S. Yeah, just beautiful. Just flying into the back of
Yeah,
the net.
flies
Just
in.
gorgeous to see. Bosh. Absolute. What a curling in there
Catches
as
it
well.
well as well. It's an unbelievable hit.
Simon Yemaine.
Mm.
Prudus. Fan Trey. Trey United saying, bro, Spurs cooked heavy with this
Yeah.
signing. Even fellow or other fans have been reacting to just how good this signing looks for Spurs with Mohamed Kudus. Like I said the other night, worth every single penny. West Ham, how's your day going?
Ah, brilliant.
Lads, it's Tottenham flag was in the stadium last night in Bilbao.
We're
Love the
reclaiming
mental.
it. I love that.
Jake saying, love the mental image of Sonny waking up at 7 in the morning, like the rest of us Americans, to watch this match. Welcome to being a North American Spurs fan, my king. Your day is either amazing or it's ruined before most people are even awake. Thomas Frank adding Brian Hill to the super team when he returns from injury. Gorgeous.
I'd
No comment.
love to see a Brian Hill redemption arc this year. I'd love to see it.
That would really test Thomas Frank's ability. Pop Montasar, Dave, really showing the love for him for Richarlison. They seem to be really good mates in the dressing room. So Pop's happy. He's playing well. Richarlison playing well. Absolute vibes.
I just look at Pappy Jack. It's like he's feeling comfortable in his environment. He's coming out of
Yeah.
his shell, coming out of his skin a little bit. He's not that shy kid, and that's going to be a dangerous animal this year.
Just a bit of flair from Muhammad Kudus.
Ah, honestly, I nearly had to go in and wank myself off looking at that. It was unbelievable.
He's just having fun out there. It's too easy for him out there. Pop Montasar saying, start as we mean to go on. Happy to be back home. Big
Come
up to
on,
the Pop.
Pappy.
Absolute classy performance. Wheels is saying, and to top off the perfect evening, here are some match day donuts. Absolutely love that guy, Wheelsy. Just Johnny H as well, in case you ever want those sort of in game stadium angles of some of the goals. I believe this is the one for
17
Richarlison's.
passes, wasn't it? Everyone touched the ball or something, Frank was
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah. Even Thomas Frank mentioned that, Dave. He was very proud of that. I think any manager would be.
Yeah.
It gets cycled out to Kudus. Here it goes.
But
Bang.
but again, crucially in the build up to that goal, it was Papa Matsar that won the ball back and recycled it.
Good point. Very good point, Dave. Straight on to cop onto that.
This has been in my head all day. That's a belter. It's a
Absolute
belter.
blast there from James Black. There you are, everybody. Dave, any final words? That's a great one to end on.
No, it's a great one to end on. Like I said, it's been in my head, for the last 24 hours. No, look, Jack, it's been a wonderful Sunday. It was great to wake up, 3-0 winners, clean sheet in the bag, 3 points, great way to kickstart the Premier League campaign and a great way to kickstart the season, of course. Tougher test ahead. But look, I'm all here for it. I can't wait for this season. I got the bucket hat ready. Let's bloody go, Jacko.
Clean sheet, 3-0, nice and clean, nice and easy. And we're enjoying the weekend. It's the right way to start off for us Spurs fans. And hopefully we get some signings through the door this coming week just to make the mood even better ahead of a big game against Man City, which usually for us is an automatic 3 points. So don't even need to stress. Don't even need to worry about it. But we'll see you next time, everybody. Smash the like button, please. And also give us your comments down below. Let us know what your favorite of the Twitter Reacts was. We'll see you next time. Come on, you Spurs. Thomas the Frank Engine. Choo, 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 baby.